Hello, students. My name is Mr. Litten. I thought I would record this presentation that I gave to all my in-person students, my traditional students, because some of this applies to them, some of it applies to the virtual students. So if you're a virtual student, not all of this is for you. If you're a traditional student, not all of this is for you. I just didn't want to do multiple recordings. Behind me is the choir room. That if you're traditional, you'll see. If you are virtual, I would like for you to be familiar with the space just to know where all of your content is coming from. And eventually, when you get back into the classroom, it's there for you. A few things about me. I'm the choir director. I'm also coaching track again this year, which I'm looking forward to. My wife Sarah graduated from Homewood. She's a student of Homewood. We have two kids, Marley, first grader at Hall Kent, and Reed, who's two. Two dogs, Wallace and Dago. We also have some bunnies, but I'm not a big fan of the bunnies. Um, I would like to remind all my students that I have high expectations for you, not just for what we do in this class, but what you do in your academic classes. I love sports. I love to play sports. I also do carpentry, building furniture, that kind of stuff. I like to run, and I know it doesn't necessarily look like I do, but I'm a pretty avid runner, but I run very slowly. I also love to cook. I love Sour Patch Kids. I love the color navy. I love food, but specifically gumbo lately. Um, I like to play any sport, but specifically I jump at the chance to play ultimate frisbee. I don't get the chance very often anymore, and I love to watch football. Really hope that football happens this year. I know the jamboree happened last night, so that was exciting. If you need to contact me, you are more than welcome to do so. In fact, especially for virtual students, you're going to need my email address. If you have any questions whatsoever, if something isn't working, something that doesn't feel right or look right, especially on Schoology, you need to get in touch with me because I don't always know that there is a problem. I also offer my cell phone number to students because I'm actually out of my classroom more than I'm in my classroom, and I don't often answer my office phone when I'm teaching. So the likelihood of reaching me on my office phone is a lot smaller than my cell phone. I do ask though that you be responsible with my cell phone number and just use it for when you need to actually reach me for a legitimate question. Here's some pictures of my family. On the left, we did a lot of hiking this summer because of COVID. On the right, I'm not sure what was going on, but I think we were all wearing Patagonias, and so we got a cute picture of us wearing our patties. The Wallace is the dog at the top, the black and white dog. Dega is the dog on the bottom. Both of them are wonderfully sweet dogs. They're getting up there in age, but they're very sweet. Some pictures of me. It's really just funny to see the progression of my hairline from when I was graduating high school to when I got married to a few years ago when I was Men in Black with my daughter as an alien. What to expect? So depending on your class, chamber and concert choir, so first period and seventh period, y'all are going to be on the left, and then general music classes, music tech, you're on the right. Um, both classes, I expect all of my students to work hard. I expect all of my students to listen, to sing, to be respectful of everyone else, including me, but also your classmates, and then learn something that you didn't know before. Generally speaking, grades, your assignments are all going to be posted onto Schoology. All of my classes this year will have some kind of test, and then general music classes and music tech class will have a lot of projects, a lot of activities that they're going to be doing with the computer. Um, for you virtual students, you are taking computer science. I expect you to be challenged. I expect you to work hard just like before. Your grades, every assignment that's going to be posted is in Schoology. The difference between virtual classes or virtual computer science is that all of your content is coming from the state school's PLP program. Um, I am learning computer science with you, and so I'm I'm just at the same level of computer science learning as you. I will try to look ahead in the lessons to make sure that I know what's going on so I can answer any questions that you may have. But the lesson for virtual students for virtual computer science, excuse me, is is almost strictly reading content and then doing a project that's related to whatever learning that you took place. So there's going to be a substantial amount of reading involved in that class. But we'll work through that together, and it'll be fun. All students, no matter what grade you in, you're going to be learning the same lessons at the same pace through Schoology. Virtual students will not see me, so we're not going to have a face-to-face meeting, a Google Meet, for example. And then traditional students are going to see me twice a week in class in this room. And then during class for traditional students, you will need your device to access the curriculum at home and in class. What you're going to need for virtual students and for in-person students is obviously you're going to need your device. You will not need your cell phone, but if you have your cell phone on, that's fine. A cell phone on you, that's fine. Just do not have it out. We'll talk about that later. I suggest that you have a pair of headphones with you. Keep them in your backpack so you can use them when you need, especially for music technology class, for computer science class, and then work ethic, of course, and respect for self and other people. For in-person students, your daily routine, you're going to line up outside of the entrance door, which is this door over here. Spaced 6 feet apart. There's tape on the floor. Just stand on one of those lines of tape. You'll enter the classroom respectfully. You'll get to your assigned seat that we set up this week, and then sit and get out your device, not your cell phone, your device, your computer. Listen and learn. A few things that you should avoid. Don't run. Don't run in the school building. Don't run in the classroom. Limit your movement throughout the classroom. No throwing, no yelling or screaming, of course. At the end of class, when you are dismissed, this is for in-person students, pick up any trash, put away your materials, cover the spot or stand and then cover the blue spot on the floor with the right front leg of your chair. And then line up at this door over here. And while you're lining up, I'm going to spray the chairs down to disinfect them. And then we will walk together to the gym or back to your classes. My expectations. I expect you to be respectful, I expect you to be responsible, and I expect you to give your best effort. That's Patriot Pride. That's what we expect of you as a school building. And not just in my class, in the hallways, in the lunchroom, anywhere in the building. If I pop in on a class, which I hopefully get a chance to do this year, I expect you to be those three things. I expect to see my students being respectful, responsible, and giving their best effort. Of course, I expect you to sing, regardless of how you feel about singing. That's the beauty of choral music, is everyone can do it. No matter your level, you have the ability to do it. I expect you to work hard. I do expect you to fail because that's how we learn best. To experience something new, and of course, I've added this year to have grace. I need grace. This is a learning experience for me. I know it's a learning experience for all of you. So I'm going to have grace with you. Please have grace with me. Please have grace with your other teachers. When things get difficult, we tend to lose a little bit of our grace. General choir room rules for this room. We're following the code of conduct. I'm not going to go over the code of conduct, but some specific things for this classroom. Arrive on time. Avoid touching other people or anything. Go only where you're allowed to go and when you're allowed to go there. Talk when it's your turn. Don't try to talk over somebody. I do expect you, of course, to participate. Wear your face mask covering at all times. Keep a safe physical distance from others. Use your device responsibly and only for the intended purpose. My joke in class was, of course, when the internet breaks or if you forcefully break the internet, not to play that dinosaur jumpy jump game. And then not to use your cell phone. You are not allowed to use your cell phone in school during school hours. So between the hours of 7:55 and 3, your cell phone should remain away from you. Not away from you, more like in your pocket, out of sight. Equipment in the room. The black chairs that you see behind me, leave them where they are. Just a reminder, the right front leg goes on the blue dot. So cover your dot. At the end of class, make sure you cover that blue dot with your right front leg of your chair. Don't pop the seats. Don't lean the chairs back because it bends the legs. The black risers that are not set up yet, they're actually over here against the wall. They'll be set up in a few weeks. They're not for you to go underneath or hide. They're not for you to kick. They're not for you to jump on or off. It's not a playground. Computers and technology equipment. This is for all of the students. The purpose of the computers is to provide you the best learning opportunity. The use of the computers is a privilege which can be taken away. Do not touch anyone else's computer. Don't try to turn it off because you think it's hilarious, like you are the first person who's ever said that joke before, um, or change any of their settings. Use your device responsibly for its intended purpose. No games. Put away your device the moment asked to do so. So when I or another teacher asks you to put your device away, that's when you do it. Your device sound must remain off. So when you're in class, in person, you need to turn your sound off unless you have permission from me to have your headphones on and you're listening to appropriate music. You are responsible for your device and any other equipment like headphones. You signed an agreement, actually two agreements. One was bring your own device, and the other one was the acceptable use policy. Bring your own device says that you're allowed to bring your own device, specifically talking about cell phones, um, but it also applies to your computer, your Chromebook. Um, but you will not use it unless you have explicit permission from a teacher while you're under the tutelage of that teacher. And it does not include any kind of texting, Instagram, Snapchat, Kick, or the use of VPNs. Acceptable use policy is basically like the code of conduct for technology equipment. So you know, patriot pride, be respectful, be responsible, and give your best effort. We're Homewood. To be one of us, you're expected to have your pride in yourself, respect for others, and to give nothing less than your best at all times. To maximize every student's unique potential, I will recognize patriot pride behavior, but I will not be doing Starburst at least right now until we're under the level 3 procedures, the team Homewood procedures. HMS uses Patriot Pride ticket system to reward students for going above and beyond what's expected of them and showing Patriot Pride. I will also be doing the tickets, but the Litten Rule is in effect. Put simply, the Litten Rule is if someone asks for it, they then cannot get it. So if you ask me for an Oreo that I have, I cannot give it to you because you asked for it first. Discipline procedures. There's consequences. I do 3 levels of discipline, or the organization of my discipline policy and procedures. The first level is classroom discipline report folder in the green binder that I'll keep up in the front. I'll just put your name. I'll put what you did. And I'll put the date. It's not a big deal. No parent call. No referral to the office. It's just documenting that something took place that needs to be corrected. If that happens repeatedly, or if there's the use of, for example, inappropriate language or throwing something, then we'll move on to a parent call, and hopefully your parent and I can work out how to overcome some inappropriate behavior. And then the most severe is the office referral. It doesn't happen very often. I think I may have done 2 or 3 last year. Some examples of that would be hitting or kicking, aggressive behavior, throwing something at someone, overt defiance, and it's real simple. You'll leave my room when I ask you to. You'll go up to the front desk and tell them that Mr. Litton's going to email them, and then you'll talk to a principal. At that point, it's out of my hands. What happens? It's up to Mr. Cockerham. To figure out what the next action is for you. In-person and virtual learning. So this is for everybody again. In person, you're either red or you're blue. Obviously, you experienced that for the first time this week. When for my class only, when you're in person, you do not need to do it's either if you're a red student on the red day, because you're in person, there's not anything on Schoology that you need to complete that day. There will be something because everything. If you're a red student on the blue days, you'll log into Schoology and complete whatever assignments for those 2 days. We're just kind of reversing what we do every other day for the red and blue. If you are a virtual choir student, which is really only a couple handfuls of y'all, you will be expected to do some kind of online singing, some rehearsing, part learning. So that when we come back in hopefully January, you won't be behind the rest of the students, and we can just pick up kind of like what we did in class. I'm not going to record the class, but I'll post some special activities for you to do, some part learning and that kind of stuff that you will do at least twice, maybe 3 times a week. It depends on how we set this up. For virtual, whenever you have virtual days, or if you are virtual day every day of the week, you're doing at-home instruction. You're logging into Schoology. You're doing the activities that have been assigned to you on Schoology. I'm loading everything on Schoology, and I'm not the most attuned to Schoology. I'm learning as we go. So again, please provide me with some grace. I'll update grades, and I know every Wednesday or every team day, that morning of the team day. So usually Wednesdays. Do check iNow for grades. It's not a big deal for my class for grades, and then check Schoology daily for activities and assignments. Virtual only students. A few students will not come to class for the first semester. You are still members of the class and the choir, and will learn the same content / repertoire for the virtual choir students at the same pace as your class. However, you have the added responsibility to be self-motivated, meaning you must take ownership to learn what is assigned / your voice part with little to no input from Mr. Litten. I will help as much as I possibly can, but you've got to reach out to me. So you're kind of responsible, virtual students, for your own learning, which is neat, but it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be different. Please ask a question. If you have something that comes up, please call me, text me, email me, message me on Schoology, or for my choir classes, send me a message on a Remind. I don't know that you have a problem until you communicate that to me. So communication on your part is going to be important. I will also try to communicate, to all of my students for when we need to, usually through Schoology. Due dates for assignments. For most of the assignments for in-person, they're going to be due the next day. So in the block on the calendar, you have a red day, then a blue day, followed by either a weekend or a team day. So they're due on that weekend or that team day, at night. So for example, assignments activities scheduled for Monday and Tuesday are due Wednesday night. Assignments and activities that are assigned on Thursday and Friday, or sorry, yeah, Thursday and Friday are due either Friday or Sunday at midnight. All assignments activities are found on Schoology. Virtual students only. Assignments activities for the entire week are due by Friday at midnight. So I just simplified yours because you have something different that you have to do every day. All of your assignments, if you turn anything in, it's due by Friday. So make sure you get it in and turned in by Friday, however you have to turn that in. I'm going to put everything on Schoology. I'll work that out, how to do that. You should have seen a flip grid, and an ed puzzle. And then today, being the first team day, all of my students should be working on their syllabus and the syllabus assessment. A note for virtual students: we're having some trouble with iNow and Schoology communicating, so I don't have classes set up for my virtual students, which is why you haven't had any activities yet. You will be doing this. All of what I'm saying right now, you will be doing sometime in the near future, hopefully by next week. We're working on that today. Check iNow weekly. Grades for traditional and virtual students will be updated. If you have a question with or issue with your grades submitted, please email me. I'm not gonna. Don't call me for grades because I can't. It's really difficult for me to check your grade, when I'm not in the school building. It's easy for when I'm in the school building because I just log into the computer. It's a lot harder. I have to go through a couple extra steps when I'm at home just for student security. So I'm not gonna address grading issues when I'm at home or when I'm away from the office. If you have a question about specific grades, just email me, and then when I get into the office, when I get into the classroom, I can figure that out and email you back. If we need to call, if we need to talk, I'll call you. Grades should be the last thing that you're concerned with in an elective class. This is an elective class, and my focus and what I want you to be focused on is not your grade. It seems silly to me for you to be focused on your grade. Instead, we need to be focused on the experience. No matter if you're taking a music class, a choir class, or if you are a computer science student, This is about the experience. It's not about the grade. It's about what we learn and how we learn it in here. So it should be a rewarding experience for you rather than just a grade that you get. Different from your academic classes. Those are absolutely necessary, and we need to have that basic understanding of how the world works, how math works, so that we can apply that to our everyday lives, because yes, it does apply. Virtual recommendations. This is for all students. This will be much different than what you experienced in the spring. What we did in the spring was an emergency. We didn't know that it was going to happen. We had no time to prepare for it. We've had now an entire summer plus a couple months to prepare for what you're going to experience now. And I think you're experiencing how different that's going to be today. Some recommendations. This is only recommendations. This is not something that we're going to be checking. This is just what the state of Alabama and nationally we have found works for most students. It may not work for you, and that's fine. And I'm not saying that this is mandatory. This is just recommendations. Get up at the same time. Set an alarm clock and wake up on the same time as you would if you were coming to school. Get dressed like you're going to school. If you're wearing your pajamas, it feels like you're wearing your pajamas, like you're not going to school, unless it's pajama day. Set calendar dates for your assignments. Use your school Google account to set up a calendar for all of your assignments for each one of your classes, so that you know and you can look visually at the calendar and know what's supposed to come up. Focus on your work and keep away from distractions. Put your phone down. Put your siblings down. Try to stay away from food. Food was my weakness in the spring. Don't be late for your classes. If your class starts at 9:45 on Google Meet, you need to be there by 9:42, 9:43, 9:44. If you log in at 9:45, it pushes the start of the class back for everybody, and that's going to get obnoxious quickly. So don't be late, and then also have your materials ready. Don't be fumbling around trying to set up your Google Meet classroom while you're in the middle of a Google Meet, because it's distracting for the other students, but it's also you're going to miss out on learning because you're focused on where you're putting everything. Complete assignments as expected, and then communicate with your teacher. We already talked about communication, but you're monitoring your own progress virtually, so you need to communicate if you have a problem. Just a reminder to be Patriot Pride and always go Patriots. If you have any questions, this is how you reach me. Some of my classes will have Remind, not all of them. Schoology, if you message me on Schoology, it just sends me an email and I'll respond by email. I do have office hours. In-person, traditional students, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 12 to 1. That's really just because I was expected to have office hours. You get to see me 2 days a week. If you are a blue student and it's a red day, well then, I'm available from 12 to 1. Virtual students, I'm only doing office hours 1 day a week. But if you have an email question, I'm going to get to it as quickly as I can, whether it's on a Wednesday or a Saturday. We can meet. I'm not meeting. I don't have any scheduled Google Meets with any of my classes. But if you feel that we need to meet, we can set up a Googly Meet, or make an appointment, phone, however you want to do that. That's it for that.